Welcome back to Said Podcast, Something Else Today. I am your host, DJ Mahlatse, and we are having the relationship talk of the month. So this is mostly about relationships in this episode. And of course, Mashilo B and Ghost AC are going to be joining us. But before that, I have a burning question to ask our audience. Would you send your partner to grocery shopping? Because that's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, Mashilo B, thank you so much for joining us again.
The best.
We've missed you last week.
Bheka ngibuyile kumnandi la. I think nje kumele vele ningimeme more and more.
Definitely. AC, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
I'm good. Any more date nights? Last time you were from date nights.
Oh, isimo somnotho.
What does that mean? I'm not
that means the financial situation just means right now, not yet.
And you speak proper
date
Zulu.
night.
I was at the salon the other day and this guy was washing my hair, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, Sisi, bengicela ukuthi retloge mo and then go dryer include nwele there. And I was like, huh? It's like he's trying to speak Zulu to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't know I'm petty. So I'm like, liring khan, how? I'm seeing the bracelet. I thought it was a Zulu thing because they wear the bracelet and the other thing. I was like, no, I should have let him the whole time dry my hair and not tell him.
You know what they say? They say it's English then Zulu.
Ne?
Yeah, most used languages.
So you guys are the important ones.
Kahle.
Yeah. But the question is, guys, are you guys reliable enough to be sent grocery shopping?
From my side, I wouldn't say I am, because most of the time with my partner, we'll fight on. My partner likes buying the house brands. Economically, as you were saying, we teach the economy. Always you check the price, you compare, even on FMCG, when they fight for shelf space, they also look economical, because they say apparently when you buy something, if it's on eye level and I think it's on your right or left, you'll take that thing first.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so that's what they say. So that's why even with cross-merchandising meaning you'll always find bread next to eggs. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it goes together. So it's a psychological thing. That when you take bread, you
have
kind
to
of
take
take
eggs.
Yeah. So it's things like that. So with my partner will fight with me. I don't think it would be okay, because I like buying the brands. I don't look eye level. I don't look cross merchandising.
Like what a jig,
the pricing is yabo. So I don't think they would send me, because the money again wouldn't be enough.
AC?
Oh, I'm married, so we have a standardized shopping list. So either one of us, when we go to buy, we buy the same thing. We go to the same store, we buy the same things. Every month, it's the same basic things. But I think the difference with me is I don't get as tempted. Like you're saying, with the psychological warfare that goes on when you step into a supermarket.
Yeah.
When you walk in, I think they try to get you with veggies, fresh. I think usually when you enter the door, the first thing you'll see is veggies. And when you're done doing your groceries and you're going to pay, they start putting the sweets and the chocolates, little tiny things that you can pick up quickly there. So I think
they want the kids to start crying.
Exactly.
And then you don't want to be embarrassed. So you're like, just take it. Just take one. The next thing they're crying for everything there and you end up spending there. You know the reason why I'm asking, right?
Yeah.
Our audience still knows me as single. I am still single, by the way. But the thing I'm
How long have you been singing?
That is not the point of this. So I was having such a tight schedule, right? And I have to cater for the podcast. So everybody knows in the podcast that I cook for everybody and I bake and stuff. So I didn't have material. And meat is cheaper at the butchery. You can't be buying meat at the supermarket there unless you are rich enough, which at the moment. But anyway, so now I sent my brother to buy groceries and I put a very small list for him, because I was like, and I told him, I can't send you grocery shopping. He said, I can do it. I said, no, I can't send you grocery shopping. He said, it's fine. No, just write me a list and I'll be fine. He mistaken bacon for pork rashes. He mistaken butternut for peanut butter. So now, I have an entire tub of peanut butter
Yeah.
And I go to gym, so you must stay away from peanut butter if you're trying to lose weight. You know, and then now I have pork rashers and pork lion, because I said pork lion and pork rashes and not and bacon. And he said, no, this lady was helping me, and she said to me, don't tell your partner I was helping you. I was like, you even had help from another lady. This is more embarrassing. Hence I'm asking the gents, how is it done? So I once saw a video online of this guy saying, this is how you this lady saying this is how you should send your partner grocery shopping. She made an entire project out of it.
Yeah.
A 2-page A3 pages.
Yo.
So it's and then she pasted everything, just looking for the empty packets of it. Like, this is the tampons I want.
Yes.
This is the brand of oil I want. This is what I want. And she gave that, and then as he's shopping, it's like he's reading a newspaper with the brands and like putting them in. And I was like, yeah. And this is not my first encounter of men not being able to grocery shop. My dad grocery shops very well for some reason. My dad knows where the specials are, where the corners are. I think because he's married to my mom, and my mom knows everything. My mom will literally read the slip as soon as we get out of the shop. You will not cheat her. And then now I just go, and I'm like, who is this? I don't see it here. But anyway, so hence I had to question the situation.
My problem is my wife, she falls victim to sales. She will not pass up a sale. If it's buy one, get another one free, she is buying it. It doesn't matter if we have 4 of those things at home. She's just like, oh, this is cheap. We are getting it. So I usually prefer to go myself. I'll make sure we save some money on that budget.
So do you also compare prices from shop to shop? Or because women most of the time will go to this shop, compare, and then say we'll come back, go compare in another shop, then we'll come back, go at that shop, and then say, I know, okay, maybe the difference is 5 rand there, let's go back to the first one, or buy one here, buy one there. Or you just, how do you say
I know, we just picked one shop. I don't want to say the name, but I think it's just cheaper that way, because if you're going to still travel to another shop and come back, the gas money that you're going to spend going there and coming back, it's going to nullify the difference in price. You know what I mean?
But also, I'm one of the people that actually does not really like grocery shopping. So anything that has to do, because every time I grocery shop, without fail, I pick the trolley with problems with wheels. Even after I have tested it, like, you'll find me there on the grocery thing, being like, that guy gives me a trolley. I'm like, no. And then when I go in, it's literally doing a spot on me, and I'm like, this is why I don't like it, because sometimes you have to go to these big supermarkets to get certain things on sale, right? And they don't have these online delivery things that Checker 60 has, for example, because I'm a Checker 60 fan, because everything I get a lot of other things on Checker 60. So if things I can't get on Checker 60, it becomes a problem for me, because I know without fail the trolley I'm gonna pick is a problem. The second problem would be I also fall victim to sales.
To sales, oh no.
I was like grabbing things I didn't even know I needed. Like, honestly speaking, it's just shopping is like, grocery shopping is so hard for women, because now you have to pick. Sometimes you have to pick between 2 things that you really, really want in the house, even though you left it at the house. But you're just worried about it running out, know? So, you just have to address that in the relationship. So,
and it's tricky. Some relationships, I think, it's not factual, but I think some relationships ended because of grocery shopping.
I would end one.
Because people fight there. You can see a couple
they
in an
fight
aisle.
in the aisle.
This man is now just following here.
You must follow as the man. But it gets to a point where, as the guy, you just know you must let your woman take a lead on this one. Because you're not going to cook. You can't be buying, I say take 6 gun, when you take 8 gun. And then we get there, babela, you can't eat it, you're surprised. So I must take the lead there.
But what if I'm hinting that, she's 6 gun, man, she's not doing the things. And when you just love it and you keep buying it every month, I'm like,
you want the 8 gun? 8 gun is the one.
And then we move to another burning questions of relationships. Guys, let's talk about this. I know people might chew me up for this, but do not chew me up, please. And my English is broken already.
I can borrow you mine.
Yeah, you're borrowing his. You borrowed from AC. You're all borrowing from AC. So, guys, is it true that when a relationship has been going for so long, That this is what a lot of people like to say, that the guy is not serious. That if you've been with someone in a relationship for 6-7 years, for example, and they're saying, "Hi, this person might not even marry you. You're wasting your time." And the very same people have the statistic of after they leave that relationship, they will marry within the 6 months of finding another person. So let's talk about that dynamic in relationships. So remember, it's relationship talk of the month. So please, no politics today, no Malema, no no Floyd Shivambo, nothing, no Trump, no.
They say a guy always know, ne? We would see this one is the one. For me, I don't know. Maybe it's because these days I'm born again and I'm more religious than before. So if ever I would be in a relationship and not marry umntana for the longest time, I would feel like it's a compromise from my belief because, they say no sex before marriage, a child must not be born out of wedlock and stuff like that. So in that context, I would say any man who's dating a woman, whether minimum 3 months, 4 months, you already align the values. You already know, Uguti, this person, I want to be with them or I don't want to be with them. You'll never know the person forever. You're going to study this person until you die. You get what I'm saying? So whether the first 2-3 months, if I would also recommend, I know it's against my religion, keep it on, moving together,
100%.
so that you can understand. Fast, go by the toll gate.
Mashilo bees in a cow train. We were coming there.
But you see. Oh no, this one is not the one. Because think about it. Amayama out, they waste time. Even if the girls end up offering money, saying, "I'll give you the money, then marry me." The guy still says no.
He says no. That's embarrassing. Double embarrassment.
No.
Double embarrassment.
You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, what's the issue? What's the problem? You get what I'm saying? So I would say, amachens mabashata abantwana babantu. Like AC is married. I'm sure he can attest. There's challenges. Whether you're married or not, the challenges will be there. You just need to find that one and commit, and that's it. That's my view.
AC, your lovely English.
I'm at the bundles, apparently. But I think there's no rule book, Joe. You can't say if it's been this long and you haven't gotten married, then it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or if this happens, then this will happen. Life is a collection of random things happening to you. You know what I mean? So if you love the person you're with and it's working for you, and you guys are not married, the pressure of getting married might even end up breaking a good relationship, because people are thinking, oh, it's been 5 years now and we're still not married, and now you start having questions and you start messing up the relationship just because of your expectations. So I feel like enjoy your relationship. If you're in
even if it takes 12 years.
Even if it takes 12, even if it doesn't happen, if
you're
happy, if you're happy, then that's all that matters.
PhD,
you know
master's, doctorate, all of them.
Yeah.
I would say maybe again conversations in the beginning of the relationship, right? Let's have honest conversations, and especially financially, kids, and health-wise and stuff like that. I feel like most of the time in relationships, we don't have these honest conversations. Do you want to get married? When do you want to get married? You get what I'm saying? And why do you even want to get married? Because some want to get married because they come from a family background where the mother, the father, they've been married for all. So they idolize marriage. They're wired that way, that this is what they can relate to. I was raised by a single parent, right? So, uthando ngilibona from Gusbari no says. I still idolize marriage, but not in a context umuntu ohleli nalo endlini. But we never have this honest conversation. Some then end up saying,
True, because I also idealize marriage because I grew up with both parents and they've been together since teenagers, and they've got 6 kids together. And I'm this old. I've never seen my father come home drunk. I've never seen my father come in the morning. I've never seen my father disappear for a whole weekend or a couple of months. and come back.
Yeah.
So I come from that, that place in life. So I've never been, so I really look forward to getting married because I've seen the structure at the house, and I think it actually works perfectly because I was raised by those kind of parents. Like, I could tell you today, my parents would kill you if you wronged me. I mean, I literally come from that family that with so much love from my parents, right? So every time when I see these people doing the things they do, I'm like, what the hell? You know, after I grew up and I moved out of my parents' house, and the men I met, I swear to God, they were from Satan. They were from Satan, those ones. Because I was like, this is not how my father is. They like, you attract your father.
Yeah.
Man, this is not my father. This is not my father.
You attracted the stepfather.
That I never heard.
Exactly.
Like, like, you attract your father. I'm like, My father washes his hands after he comes out of the toilet. What the fuck is this? Like, someone has literally came to my house, went into the bathroom, came out, and you know, I'm very conscious. Came out, the hands were dry. There's no towels. There's no towels in I remember that day I washed towels. There were no towels in my bathroom.
He used the toilet paper. They are defending him.
There was not even residue of
Maybe it was floating. It didn't touch anything.
That is not the point. How do you
It
float?
happens.
Yeah.
You can get there and touch anything.
Superman, no? So you just... Hi guys, you just
sometimes it happens. You can.
That's why the toilet seats look very, very scary in the bathroom, because they are busy being Superman. You are scared of touching your own things. If you are scared of touching your own things, and you must really go down on someone else. Hi guys, let's move on to VatnSit.
Yeah.
Keep it and
but to keep it. For I think, man, times are evolving. Even though I think. Abantu wakudala vele mebakipita. It's just that these days there's social media, it exposes a lot of things. There's, too many views on it. Mara, I'm for it, right? Just get to know this person as soon as possible. Because umuntu yokuqaka emshadweni.
But ASAP.
Yeah, yabo aqake nje ukuthi hawu lo muntu unokuhlala la endlini maybe angawashi izitsha or unama gender roles. You get what I'm saying? Because some people have gender roles.
Gender roles akanamali.
Yeah, we are born out. It's another problem. So the sooner you do it, the better. Because more than anything, you are choosing this person. You wake up in the morning and say, I want Mahlatse and I want to be with Mahlatse forever. Yeah, so try it. Or even if it's not officially, but spend most time
with that person.
Whether kwakhe or kwakho. But I would recommend the girl ayokamjita.
True.
But
if they invite you within the first 2 weeks of knowing you, if they invite you to hijack that person is literally looking for a way to become a victim of a crime. Take their TV with you. It's fine, because there's no way. Mutu visit me within the first 2 weeks. Are you in hospital? Remember, hospitals, there's 70% is other people. It's not even.
How long is long enough then to wait?
To what? To wait for?
To start going to someone's place.
You are supposed to advise us. You crossed all those stages and you got married.
You are married.
Me and my woman, we started a long time ago in high school. So
the people that got lucky, they got it right the first time. We are at season 13, episode 25 of relationships.
So
maybe for me, if you guys been together for a year, I think you could really consider VatnSit. That's for me. Others can do it as early as 8-9 months. So I think that's you should consider it, because the sooner the better.
But
the sooner the better, Shem.
You must also be careful as well, because sometimes when you keep it up, but we budget. I'm trying to buy izikoloto zami. Home loan because we are measuring assets. So again, it's very much important. Yeah, because it happens. What's the reason?
Guys, I'm ashamed of what he's saying now.
There's even a term, I don't know if they call them hobos or something like that. Someone says, Mahlatse, you move in now.
Yes, I'm part of the people that came out with homosexual stories.
Yes, you see.
It went on Twitter.
So also be careful.
Almost got in trouble with people there.
I would say moving no muntu now also money ngama resource. More apply la something ne, but he send 3 months bank statement. I think about legend my relationship. Like send 3 months bank statement as we are about to date, so that I can see and gauge your behavior. Because that thing, it's not to say you can afford, it's to also control how you spend, where you spend, when you spend.
Can I raise my hand for this? About the bank statements, ladies, let's do this. we always have that Capitec account, another account. So the account you're not using, send that one. Remember this without fail. Women are broke. If you have money, you're not part of us. You're not part of our agenda. I always say it. Women are broke. So make sure without fail. Open another bank account for him. 3 months ago, fella, you'll be going on dates. Your statement is accumulating. You know, just use that thing. Do not even dare. But anyway, my statement would have pay flex.
Yeah.
Hence, I'm not sending it. It's like pay flex.
You see, but that approach would bring a lot of comfort, because if someone gives you a loan because they saw your spending habits, they are comfortable that chances of you paying them back, it's fine.
Yeah.
So even in a relationship context, if you move in with me, and I've seen your 3 months bank statement, I know, you are not here because I eat the normal brand of Jungle Oats, not the house brand. We are here because you want to be here. It's not about economically surviving.
But now, don't you think that opens up the possibility of she's gonna see your 70,000 rand per month salary, and now she wants Peruvian weaves. And now, you know, and now she
I get it. This is after getting to know each other. You can't just say first date, go 3 months bank statement. Remember, as an independent woman trying to date, you're also trying you're trying not to scare the men away, which is what we're very good at. And we don't do it intentionally. I don't wake up and say, today I want to scare Mashilo be at the date. I don't. So you don't want to be asking for 3 months bank statement on the first date.
On the first date.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
The first date.
You're like, I'm trying to see.
Before we get started, let's swap bank statements.
Let's see if you qualify to be here on the date.
And that time you didn't even give me references. I can't call any of your exes. You didn't give me references. Because if you give me a reference, perfecto. Because if you give me a reference, I can call your ex and be like, how does he behave? You're Sisi. He starts getting undressed from the door. You see the shoes, the socks, the trunk, until following him to the bedroom. Then you go like, I can't be with this person. You know? Because you don't get a reference. You don't understand why people are single until you date them.
Yeah, the reference would be important. So another thing, I think, AC, would be that most of the time as a machita, we are not honest with our finances when it comes to people that we are dating. And that comes back with pressure as well. Because if Mahlatse asks me for a Peruvian weave or asks me for nails monthly and full tank for Kazon, sometimes it's what I've portrayed myself to be towards
at the beginning, yeah.
But if you find a Mahlatse, as I know her, she's good. She would, if she understands your finances now, instead of asking for a Mali Amazipo with 500, let me ask for 250, because corner the 250 option.
Yeah.
So as catchiness thing, I would recommend to be honest, like where we are financially.
But honestly, it also, when we come back to finances and dating, right?
Yeah.
Men, do not date when you are broke. That's it.
Why is this applying to men only?
Dating is expensive.
Why only to men?
Yeah.
So if you are within a certain level, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, men also, they come with the ego. So even if you can date someone who has more than you, the ego starts kicking in. You know, sometimes you feel like your partner is trying to offend you because she makes more money than you, and it's nothing like that. It's all in your head. So for me, from my experience, talking from experience on this one, I wouldn't suggest anyone to date anyone who's below them that far, like a few levels below them, because it's embarrassing as the relationship progresses. Because now it looks like even when you get promoted at work, you don't know whether you should be excited to tell your partner or not, because now that means you're making, instead of making 3 times more than more than them, you're making 6 times more than them. So you've got bigger problems now. How do I tell you? So hence financially, like, financially date someone who's not far off from you. Don't date someone who's very far off, ladies, from you, because you know how we are as women. You're gonna end up chipping in, and then jigu bob the bill. Like, also, I'm not successful like it. Okay, which I never got to that part, but I'm too young for it. I'm not old. And then tomorrow when he's successful, what does he do? What type ya high?
I would also say, bochir machens, ngajule nana bochira babroku.
Facts.
Because lo cherry loyo uzokufaka esikolotweni.
Yeah.
Uzama ukuimpressa yena lo cherry, umfunela ama dress nice, imali yamazipho. So cherry, I think it's very very much important naye ukuthi abe nento zakhe azimele. Yabo, as much as we are wired as men to take care of protect and stuff. But it's always nice when the woman can also just say,
100%.
I have that covered.
Yeah.
But also, my issue with that is that, okay, fine, you need to be independent as a woman. I support it 100%. At least be able to afford certain needs for yourself, right? Because I feel like I'm not in support of women who are asking money for toiletry, hair, and nails.
The basics.
I feel like that's weird.
Yeah.
How were you looking good before I met you?
Yo.
Like, kore wena no le dinosaur, ko no
Why
change
do you wanna
chang,
see, Pang,
uba
at that
Cinderella
time,
kanna.
Yeah.
There was Sipo before. Now
No,
it's
but I
on
get
to
it. I get it. Also,
Yeah.
we're gonna come back to that of having breaks between
Yeah.
between exes and the new partner.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
that should be, but we'll come back to that. But for me, it's kind of embarrassing when you vent at me.
Yes.
Ne? You are venting to me. I'm talking to people in my circle now, but I
Yeah.
don't have them anymore. So you are venting to me. Saying, Asan pichel tamanal. Sorry, Sesi, I do my own nails. Can't people give people money for
basics.
nails? Like most of the time I discover, you
Yeah.
get money for hair. I'm just dating and no one is offering me anything.
Yes, and Mahlatse, we are touching on a very important point because I have a friend of mine who canceled dating someone because the person asked Guti, are you gonna pick me up? I'm like, yo,
Are you gonna pick me up is a problem?
yeah, you must have your own car, bro. Like the context, the guy says,
Okay, does he have his own car?
the guy,
A
yeah.
proper one or a push car? Because
a
if
car
I'm
is a
saying
car.
he's
a car is a
then-
car. But like it comes back to the point of the basics, you know. I think it's always nice for a guy to come pick you up even though you have your own car.
True.
But as if it's like a standard thing that you must pick me up and drop me off and you don't even have a car. Hi boo.
The way you reacted, you remember that I want to date my family and this lady was like, I want to date someone with a car. But Jean was not
Exactly.
Utsa jang ka koloi o sena le tafole.
Koloi ya mang? Wena o tsamaya kang? O na le eng?
I don't know with the picking up because sometimes maybe we can say if you also can afford your own Uber.
Yeah,
Because sometimes there's women who stay in proper places and whatever, but they can't afford cars yet.
Yeah.
And you know how the banks and interest rates, we spoke about them on our episode with Raymond, which you'll see, which has been posted a few weeks ago, if you want to learn about financial literacy. But it also depends what this guy means in context, because you can't say to me, I'm not going to date a woman without a car, but I live in a nice apartment, I work, I afford my own things, I just can't afford a car. And you say, I can't date you because you don't have a car. It's the same when you date a guy. Yes, he might not have a car. Can he afford an Uber?
Yes.
You know, does he live in a proper place? Does he live with his parents maybe? Or, you know, because now if he lives with his parents, that means you're dating everyone in that house when you visit. Because you need to be nice to Mama Zala, nice to the siblings, have quiet sex. If you're a loud person, kofa. Because now the whole house, when you wake up in the morning, they're looking at you like, everybody knows.
But Uvukile, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't
What
stop.
are you thinking? Hey, harder, faster.
Harder.
What are you thinking? Quack, quack. And that time the skin,
Yeah.
you know when you're trying to keep it quiet, the skin is...
Hang on the lights. Some people hang on the lights. Hey, things that happen.
Hang
in
on the
bedrooms.
light.
You know the demands that happen during relationships.
I
when
now yalwa. That hang on the light is now. You're gonna make us sound like we're body shaming people because you can't hang on the
Oh, you
light
can't
with a certain weight limit. Like it has a weight limit. Hanging on the light has a weight limit. Why are you hanging on the lights and then ukala 120 kg? You know, now tomorrow you must call someone to fix your lights.
Yo, but in relationships, things that I think sometimes we also need to have this conversation. Things that girls demand us to do in the bedroom.
Yeah.
When now they are in the
So
moment.
now we've entered the sex talk, guys.
Hey,
Listen carefully.
hey, it's tricky, Joe. Hey, it's tricky, Joe.
They expect you to bend over. Like the bending. Uthole gore ngwana batho is what's king exercise no iphilela bophelo ba hae wa phela se ba nyaka o etse di gymnastics o etse di stretching.
But now, no,
Khonto
no,
nako e ba thaifile mo. Wow.
Now no solo go to the left and this cut mfana ka left sengifikile uthi hey left
All the way to the left
all
that
the way.
time, yeah.
And mfana maybe talo ka left uqale ka left. You know how embarrassing that is.
No, uqale lapha uqabanga ukuthi left.
Ungene ka left.
Thola ukuthi wena ungene so mara uqabanga ukuthi ungene so. Hey, you must listen.
Khona linye khona singalazi.
Ama passage amanye yeah hey some of those demands, and actually, like you said, I'm out as catching this ego yabo, iba bruised easily.
Yes.
Yeah, iba bruised.
So that's why they're going left and right in the bedroom, because we're still on the bedroom talk.
yeah. I think.
But also, I don't think it actually, at some point, I've heard this, yeah, gripper. I don't think who gripper matters. It gets to a point where who gripper does not matter. It gets to a point where people are just dating. Because if I swear, I'm not going to say this again, thank you. But I'm going to say it either way. If it was who gripper, I would be married, guys. The way I exercise to grip, I'd be married.
There's an exercise for
the way
gripping.
I've been, if you keep fit and you keep lifting your weights and
What kind of exercises are those?
No. Not the Kegels. What is it? Kegels. My lady, please help me. Is it called Kegels or what? What is it called? There's a way. The more you actually run and do whatever, it actually helps with the sexual health, because it becomes very
Yes.
You see, that's why I will never stop exercising. It's for sexual issues, guys. It has nothing to do with fitness. At some point, you go like, hey, I'm dating now. Every week when he comes back, I must be a virgin. Because there's not like that, but because there's like a misconception, right? That if you have a child, shame. But if you have a child, they stitch you most of the time, especially if you give birth natural, they stitch you. So your whole, if it was like this and then they stitch you, it's like this. So gripa ka gang. At this rate, it's gripping by force, because they were stitching you.
Yeah.
So hence I'm like, your gripper, it gets to an age where people, it does not matter, even with the big or small, whether it's big or small, it does not matter. Because someone could have a big thing and we're thinking, wow, khama.
Are
they mistaken the hole? Sometimes you're like, no, that's not the one. Hey. Anyway, we're still continuing on the sex talk. You brought it up.
Would you say? I think the current generation, I think we are more comfortable in having the sex talk and the the health side of it and the benefits in the bedroom. But does culture affect this talk as well? How you were raised? Yeah, like maybe how you were raised. You don't really discuss in those as an example. Or no, I'm not saying me, but I'm saying in other contexts, from backgrounds, they will say no, certain things you don't talk with a woman. And I would say it's best that we talk. How do you like it? There's that black book, the Orgasm, Female Orgasm Black Book. I read that book and I learned a lot to say a woman can come how many times and how can a woman come and how to even set the mood from a scent perspective and all of this. So I would recommend that book for most men, because for me it changed my life.
They're probably just gonna go wing it and watch porn.
But so my question would be, do you think our backgrounds affect the bedroom conversations in relationships?
I mean, from where I come from, right? Sex was not spoken about, but at school it was discussed, I remember when I was in grade 6, it's the first time I saw a drawing of a male genital and a drawing of a female genital. Grade 6 or less, or a lesser grade, somewhere there. Yeah. And it was life orientation, and we saw that. And it was discussed in schools. And as we grew up and we started learning about our bodies and how they work and what we like and what we don't like, then you start trying to communicate it. And also when you go to the next relationship, you start trying, you use your experience. Everyone comes experienced in the relationships now. No one comes, without experience. So, I don't think from the education system we heard culture matters. Okay. Maybe it's from the older generation, because you were born, I think, a couple of years before me.
I was born 1992.
So, and
for me, again, how my parents had this sex conversation with me was, I don't know if you guys would remember this ad. There was a sanitary towel ad where they will show the sanitary towel on screen, and then they pour something blue, and then they squeeze it, and then they cut it just to show.
Oh, yes, the always one, yes.
Yeah. But somewhere on the ad, they will end up not showing from the bottom down. So I stood up as a young boy and went on screen trying to understand. I saw they were cutting it and squeezing it. Where did they put it? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. So that ad, I couldn't get the context of the ad. And because I was raised by my sister as well, so she said, no, usimpiwe umshana wami intombazana, so this and this happens every month. So that ad, it means 1, 2, 3, 4. And since then we started having the conversation about sex and kanjalo. So I would recommend that if you are a parent, have this conversation with your kids, so that they can understand. Ngoba that as well. I was a person I was the fighting police, a girl will be bullied if uzoya kuma periods. And boys don't understand it. They are bullying her and making fun of her because they don't understand it. Yeah. But soon as I understood that, I was able to defend the girls because now I know, which, oh man, this means that. So maybe that's why I never had bedroom problems. Because I started having these conversations at a younger age.
Yeah. I think women, some will always have some bedroom problems because, you know, for some reason, I saw this TikTok and someone was like, for some reason, when you say harder, the guys think you must increase speed. So you think you must go faster. So then she was like, I don't understand which English they were taught in school. The fact that they were banking classes, it's making it very hard. Yeah. It's making it very hard for our situation in the bedroom. So I think even if we talk about it, we need to practice it, right? Yes. And practice and see if this is working. Because sometimes also what's he saying? What's he saying? AC, expose him. What is he saying?
So produce and expand more. When you say when the girl is saying harder, what do they actually mean?
So okay,
they're saving lives. Yeah.
What does harder in the bedroom mean? Eh?
Yeah.
According to me, I hope my ladies support me. So this is what's happening. I get it. I'm doing at the table, right? And then harder. Harder doesn't mean, it means. So when I harder, you are still here. You're still, so harder is,
rich,
you know, harder.
Yeah.
And then when you were soft, you were soft, right? Faster is when you.
Okay.
Is that
it's
clear?
the intensity, not the speed.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the intensity.
It makes sense. So that's the difference between harder and faster.
Yeah.
So ladies, please, you leave us a comment there and let us know if
so let's say you are on top and I say harder. How are you gonna do it?
Why am I harder on top?
I'm just asking. You know, like it's a shang a surprise.
Yeah.
Come woman on top, usa relaxing la papers surprise harder. How are you gonna do it?
Now you are switching gender roles. Are you saying I must bamba?
I don't know.
Like, no, you're saying I must bamba.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
You know the new song Bamba 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 by Vic Roti. Now you're saying I must bamba Bamba.
Again, I'm trying to drive the point home. Exactly. As men as well, we never understood it like the way. When you said harder, it was like taboo. Like, okay, harder, I'll just do what I think you mean. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So you're saying even when a woman is on top and you say harder, they must go harder, ne?
Hey, I mean, I'm not sure. I must try it.
And then they break something there. Hey. Do you know that a dick can break?
It can fracture, yeah. I think I've seen like in the ER, you know that show ER?
Yeah.
There was a guy who came in and he had like a penile fracture, that's what they call it. I used to watch that show a lot.
He said hard, I'm sure.
You see?
He said harder.
You see why gender roles are important?
That was the first man in history to say harder.
Do you see why gender roles are important? Do you understand why gender roles are important, even in the bedroom? Because I don't have a dick. There's nothing I can do.
Yes.
We're even making Mashilo be cry, guys, with the laughter. Today, he'll be out of laughing bundles. They
are important gender roles.
So it's like, don't switch the gender roles where they're not supposed to be switched.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to switch gender roles all the time, I'd say men should give birth, my partner should give birth instead of me. And that's not possible. So it's the same with harder and faster. Yeah. It's not really the most possible thing on women on top. You'll have a penile fracture. It will break. And all feature, like live nice and nice. I'm like,
what happened?
Like, do you want to explain what happened? But anyways, let's move on to, while we're still at sexual health and sex and sexual preferences, let's move on to cheating partners. Those ones. And you know the ladies that keep forgiving the cheating partners. I saw a tweet where you'll know Canex V and you'll know citrus soda. You will be drinking those and applying. Canex V is a cream that you buy that's actually used for like vaginal bacterial infections
Yeah.
mostly. So it's like it could be maybe you use a public bathroom and you're just feeling a bit itchy. Then you use Canex V, or you could be for any other reason. But when someone is dating, before they accept that they might probably not be well, or their partner could probably be doing something outside, you start using those things, because also when you have sex, you are more prone to get urine infections. So citric soda is used for urine infections. So women get them a lot, and women get them without even knowing. So, but please do your research. This is not medical advice. This is based on what I know on my doctor's consultations when I have my problems. So, yes, so you'd clear with citric soda when you have urine infections. So you know how they start in a woman's body could be a problem. So there's women who just idealize and stay with the cheating partner until... Yeah, so let's talk about those.
Well.
There's men who stay for cheating partners.
Yeah,
That's
I've once stayed
yeah.
for they cheated on me and I stayed.
ha.
You know?
You sure every day we wanna have plot your revenge. When
Not even. Most men, or some men, do forgive cheating, but they don't talk about it. They do forgive it, but they don't, because no one knows it's okay.
Yeah.
The moment someone else knows, the ego again is bruised, and then now it becomes a problem. I forgave cheating again. First reason, none of my friends or family knew that I was cheated on. I was the one who found out. I was the one who knew the truth. And beginning of the relationship, I had said, I'm here to build and I'm here to be with you forever. And there will be times where I have to be forgiven as much as I forgive as well. So I was coming from that perspective of building, right? But with history, they say history has no blanks. I would say it's not even about the sexual side of it. The damage that it does to a man mentally and your confidence. I'm a very confident man. I would walk in a room and there'll be millionaires. I will still greet everyone like I'm in their rank. Right that time, I'm just driving at that and go. You see? But after I was cheated on, it affected me. I didn't even know the other guy. Sometimes they say you'll be curious and say, hey, the other guy, and whatnot. No, but you just start to question a lot of things, mentally, physically. I go to the gym a lot, You're asking yourself, was it about the sex? Was it about the money and stuff? So don't forgive it, because the damage that's going to do to you mentally, the price is too high.
I was going to ask the reason you stayed. Was it because you reflected on yourself and then you saw where you went wrong, or was it because you loved her?
Yeah.
Or was it a combination of both? Or
so the reason I stayed, it was cheating, guys. It also comes in context, but we never want to have this conversation. If you meet someone now, the person says, "Hey, mina nginomuntu, but into zethu azikho 100%." But right, ngizokcoma. Nijole for 2 months, 3 months. Nibe happy, ukhetshile, ukhohli ukuthi beginning. Mahlatse said, actually there's someone. Then you find out after 4 months, 5 months, it was my context. 4 months, 5 months, that ngelinye ilanga uMahlatse visited that particular someone. Hey, again I forgave it from that context. That hey Marama, if we are being honest, yes she cheated, but she cheated. Like it was. She had the rights to, because she did mention to me, and I chose to stay. So some cheating come in context. You'll find again some men would forgive their partners from cheating because 80% of the time I'm not here at home. I'm traveling the world. I'm doing this and that and that. This person on my needs and stuff. And I'm not promoting cheating, but I'm saying we also need to have context of what happened and why it happened. So I forgave it from that context that, no, man, I wanted to build anyway, but so I knew unomuntu and ngifuna ukuthatha from
wafika wamaka
ngamaka yabo wabuya naye wangimaka futhi yabo mesimakana yabo. So it was that context. Then I forgave it. And again, remember you guys build a bond. Yabo, and as you build a bond, you spend time together, there's memories and stuff. You can't just wake up
one day and
just leave. I
actually want that skill of just waking up and just.
And now I wish I had that skill.
Like where you can just turn it off or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But guys, that brings us to the end of our relationship talk for the month. Please do follow us at Set Podcast 1 on all social media platforms. And we will see you next time.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit
Yes, the best.
Bye, guys.